Live.
Call the meeting to order. Second go around. Anyhow, let me see where we are. Get the roll call here. And, I'm here. Karen's not here. Who?
Here.
Janice?
Here.
Let's see, the future president, no, JJ. JJ's here. Dr. Davis?
Here.
Dr. Cleve? Here. Larry? Yes. Dr. Reynolds? Jason?
Here.
Dr. Steve?
Here.
Okay, nobody from PTA and.
Yeah, do we have a representative from PTA?
We are in transition. The PTA president of 24-25 will be at our PTA meeting on August the 20th at 6 p.m.
Okay,
And
She's the president.
she is the president, and we have some board members that have already been decided. She's trying to drum up some interest among the new parents for the other positions, such as president.
okay. And Angelique is here and Angie's here. There's no teacher representative here. Okay, well, that's done.
And Miss Karen's watching, just thought I'd let you know. Hi, Miss Karen.
Repeat that?
Miss Karen is watching on our Facebook Live right now.
Oh, God bless them. All right, well, thank everybody for making it, and let's go on. Roll call's on. Everybody had the minutes in advance. Any changes? No changes. They stand as presented. We have any special guest presentation? Nope. All right. Next on the list. Any teachers rep report?
No, son.
The teachers have been in the building because today was the last day of the refresh.
Okay.
They will have lots of stuff to talk about when they come, August 20th.
Good. Okay. Thank you. Finance report. Angie?
Yes, thank you. Welcome everyone. The month of July is pretty crazy around here. Anyway, I hope you had a chance to look over the financial report. Just want to go over a few of the maybe things that might stand out to you guys. Last month at the meeting, we talked about the profit loss year to date. It was a lot higher than it is now, but July is when I accrue, June 30 is when I accrue the salaries because of our teacher salaries versus the fiscal year. But we did end on a positive note with a surplus, so that's always a good thing. So the things you may notice about June is the higher salaries, and things of that nature. I was able to do a year-to-date, budget to actual comparison like I usually try to do quarterly, and if you were able to take a look at that, everything seemed to be pretty closely matched to the budget. I did do a couple of budget amendments, but none of them were above 5% to cause any alarm. Sometimes we get notification of allocations from the state of Louisiana or the federal government that I might not have known about at the beginning, but overall, nothing is really far off from the projected expenditures and revenues for last year. A few things like repairs, we had a broken water line and things of that nature kind of stand out on there, but that's not typical of, well, it may be getting more typical as we age, but that's not typical of something we would pay for that much money in a regular year. Just to recap a few of the things that have been going on, I did complete the budget. I sent that to you guys for you to look over. and it is an action item, so that is pretty much what I've been spending most of my July on. Some of our funding, federal funding especially, changed from last year to this year, so we had to really kind of tweak some of the things that we budget for, and but I was able to make it work somewhat. But those things, like some of the federal funding, we were instructed to not, but freeze it in case. We just don't know exactly when those funds are going to be coming, but nothing out of the ordinary. It wasn't a whole lot of money for us here at Max, because it is formula based on our enrollment. And we can go over that in a minute as well. And just a few of the things I did, normal July stuff. I was able to complete requesting all of the federal funds in EGMS, so no outstanding funds to be received. Completed the TRSL, which is the retirement system fiscal year closeout. I did submit Super App for this coming school year, and it is awaiting approval, so they still have it in review in EGMS. Payroll taxes, just pretty much the normal quarterly reporting. Other than that, I don't have anything really outstanding to report. If this is the time, we can talk about the budget if you guys had any questions about it. But it is an action item for approval, so if you guys saw or need explaining of anything you see on there, I would be happy to answer your questions.
Does anybody have any questions regarding that?
Is there a reason you think the state per pupil MFP is going down versus the previous year?
Yes, because when we started last year, we had 99 kids, and we ended our February 1 with 96. And at the time of this prep, we had 93 kids. At the time of this actual prep, I think she added a couple kids today, but so when they send the budget letter out in July,
Five
it
or
is
6 kids less.
correct. So, but that also, when the numbers reflect changes, they do what they call mid-year adjustments, and they might up or down depending on what. But that is the July budget MFP letter that we got to say this is how much funding you will get for 25-26.
So there was no increase in the MFP.
No, MFP did not get any changes in the legislature, the formula, I should say. So we revert back to the,
Previous year.
pardon me, but yeah, it is the previous year. I think it was something adopted in 23. That might be wrong. So, but they did approve the stipends for our teachers again, which is another reason why MFP didn't really adjust. So our staff is going to be getting the certified and support staff stipends just like they did last year. So, but yeah, no major changes to the MFP formula.
Your healthcare number, is that a hard number or an estimate?
It is a almost hard number. I did, let me get there, I'm sorry. I don't know, usually the health insurance benefits last year was about a 6% increase in the premiums. So I went with what I was paying year to date, and I added a little bit, about 6% to it. And also,
Well, you're right. I'm hearing it's.
I hope I'm right, too.
Year.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
Also based on staff, and I did have 2 of our staff not renew the insurance, so that always helps me in a tiny bit. But
Fair.
so, but it's an estimate because I don't know what the new rates are going to look like in 26. But it changes in the mid-year.
When do you find out?
Probably October, late October or early November. They'll come out with the new premium rates. So.
It could be big. We may have to amend it.
Got it.
I hope it doesn't. But
If I do get notice of that and it's a
Reading.
5% swing, I definitely would do
I'm
it.
hearing
But
20% increases.
yikes! I hope not.
That's what I'm hearing.
Okay. Are there any further discussions as far as the proposed budget is concerned? Then we need a motion on it. Does anybody want to make
I
a
move
motion?
that we adopt the budget.
It's been moved by who? I'll second. Second by Larry. Is there any further discussion on it? No further discussion, all in favor? Any opposition? Okay, you got it.
Thank
Roll
you.
on. Angie, is there anything else?
That's all I have. I'd be happy to answer any other specifics.
Well,
if
thank you
have
very
any
much,
questions.
well done.
Thanks.
Grants, anything on that, anybody working?
A grant through COCHE has been submitted by Miss Emily. We have not heard any further from that. But we recently got
She sent a message
notification that it was submitted.
And this isn't really part of my report, but the staff would like to thank you for lunch. Yesterday, we had Mr. Jake kindly treated our staff to lunch for this caucus refresh. So I just want to make sure you heard that on record.
Anything on grants?
Only that the COCHE was submitted.
That approach,
Yes.
I'm sorry, yes. Look, do me a favor and call me next week and remind me about that,
Okay, sure thing.
and we'll talk to Stephen.
Okay.
Okay, building site, my name's to it, I haven't heard anything, so.
Thank you.
I guess the place is, yes,
I have a new one,
you have what?
a new issue that I might share with you. In the gentleman's
Grants?
room.
All the buildings?
So,
The building?
yes,
Go ahead.
when you flush the urinal, water is mysteriously coming over the top of it. I couldn't figure out where, but it's not, it probably needs to be looked at.
I'll get a
You gotta
plumber.
open the drain every time you use it.
I'll get a plumber to come and take a look.
Now, you know I'm not
No.
real mechanical,
No.
right? You're messing with someone with a severe deficit.
I just couldn't hold back to that.
It's not nice to pick on the
I'm right there with you, brother.
Okay, well, that's one we gotta look at.
Yes.
Okay, you got your gravel in place? and
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Satisfied with that?
All the holes are filled, no one's bouncing around to get here.
And
If
we're
only-
ready for a new school year.
Well, no, we still have to make sure that the streets are actually passable.
Yeah, it's been a bad week
It's
for,
been, I'm parked
for
by
us
Post here
here.
right now. 'Cause that's the only way I know how to get here.
Yeah, but that's got nothing to do,
That has nothing to do with you.
No.
I can't help you with that.
I know.
Okay, all right, let's go on down. Principal's report. Angelique.
Yes, sir. So, our first day is next Wednesday, that is August the 6th. It is fast approaching and we are so excited, putting it out there. Our open house is on August the 20th at 6 p.m. That is also our PTA meeting to kick off the year. You guys are welcome, more the merrier. We also welcoming Mr. Matthew Malawson, Mr. Doug Baker, and Miss Jamaica Hamilton. Matthew is replacing Noah, who has gone on to bigger things that he is working on. And Mr. Baker is replacing Mr. Hubble for math. So it's good to have him in, and we haven't scared him away after 2 days of caucus, so that's good. And Miss Hamilton is coming to work as a para here for second and third. We are excited to work with them. They are excited and have already shown promise in what we've asked of them. So we did get our LEAP results, and I'm trying to curb my enthusiasm. So of the, I've already forgotten what they were out of, 60, 70, oh, help me out, Miss Dr. Welsh. 32 made basic or higher. Okay, it's a little less than half. 32 made basic or higher in ELA. We doubled up what we did last year in math as well, and even science. But remember, we made that big jump in science. So, but we still made gains on science as well. We are waiting for those social studies scores. Bessie has to get together and decide on the scale that they are using, and then they are going to release the social studies scores. They are going to be used this year, but we don't have them yet. Still hopeful, because I think we
So
work
what's
really
your
hard.
general opinion of that? That's a whole lot better.
It's a whole lot better. It is a whole lot better. Now, they are the ones with their formula on what that means, and I'm still waiting to get access to the target growth for each individual student so that I can go through their individual scores to do the growth index that gets used. So, but they don't calculate that separate, so I have to calculate that out because they usually do an aggregate math and ELA target growth index, and I'm gonna have to get those scores to do it one by one. I can't wait for them to do that because it has to be one by one to disaggregate the math and the ELA. Okay, we are currently not at 94, we are now at 95 because we accepted another student. We are still getting apps. Okay, so I don't know where that number is going to stop. Where there is space, I can accept even as far, I think 1 year, the last 2 years, at Thanksgiving, I was accepting people in. Middle school is closed though. There's no more room. I can't seat another kid. So earlier this month on the 15th, Altrusa, a service organization, invited us. Miss B had met them at the Tawase meeting. Tawase, as you may know, Miss B, Tawase, I'm sorry, I'm not from around here. So she wrote a grant for incentives to have a glow party and popcorn because that helps to defray some of the costs when we want to do things that aren't major money expenditures but are extremely exciting to the students to help them, to motivate them as big ticket items. So she was able to meet, and then they came last year with Clotilde the alligator and read the book that they had, because they had also received a grant to publish this book. And so they invited us to go and speak to our school. I was able to see Ms. Caitlin Straub from the past, and that was also nice to meet. They loaded us up with goodies. They said that they had pulled all of our student supply list and just started cobbling together. So we did come in with some supplies from those lists that we have here, and they are interested in working with us. And I have a bullet that didn't get written on. My apologies. I thought it saved before I printed, but it did not. There is a board training that is due. Oh, it's on my desk.
I know.
It's on my desk. It is for new board members that haven't had the training and for board presidents that do it yearly. And they have an option in the LDOE that came up that is, I think it's a remote option of a few hours that you can do. I have to go get you that
We
information.
can forward the information if that's okay. Sorry.
Yeah. And let's see, the last two things. Cabas, we did have the refresh. Dr. Shanman has been here since Tuesday. Dr. Gotro was with us Tuesday and Wednesday. It was extremely fruitful. As you may know, we only had two teachers. We only have two teachers in the building that were in that original boot camp, okay? So it was time to get a refresh to get us all back onto the same page. And both Dr. Shanman and Dr. Gotro were gracious enough to come here and to work with us. It was more of a tightening up what we do, so it wasn't like the boot camp, because it really is honing in on how do we get that movement in our interventions and in math, but also maintain the momentum we've been developing in our literacy, in our ELA classes. So that occurred, and we are working on a PB schedule with Dr. Gotro and with Dr. Shanman, who has committed to working with our grade band groups monthly, remotely using Teams, but also Dr. Gotro will be coming in to the building more frequently. Transportation, we still have another
again?
professional development.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Is there anything else? Are there any questions, Angela?
The board training that you alluded to,
Was that by LAPCS
No, sir, it was from Bessie.
from Bessie?
It was in our, LDOE newsletter. Okay,
Tomorrow I'll, get an email going to the board
Got
thread
it.
and,
so,
send you guys.
You're gonna send out information on
yes,
it?
it's on the 5th, and it's the board authorized,
5th of August or September?
5th of August. It's a Zoom meeting though.
Just send it out to everybody,
Yes, sir.
that way, we could talk about it now, but I think for me, it would stick, if
Yes,
it's
sir.
on the computer staring it in,
We'll put
staring
it
you
in
in the
red,
face.
a red byline for you so you can.
Do something like that, Joe. Okay, Angelique, thank you very much. Are there any questions for Angelique? I have one. I mean, we're down to 95. You know, at one time in our life, we've been up to 110 or more. You know, in life, if something's happening and you just sit back and keep doing the same thing, you're gonna get the same results. Maybe we should start giving some thought somehow or another. How do we go out or what do we do? Not necessarily, you know, immediately now this meeting, but give it some thought for maybe the next meeting. Is what kind of a selling program? What can we do different? What can we maybe do to try to get a few more, 5, 6, 7 students more than what we have now? Just think about it,
yes, sir.
everybody, please,
Yes, sir.
and we come back.
Been on my mind, been on my
But could
mind.
you tell us, in an ideal situation, what is the maximum that you see? Where would we have to recruit?
The max, we get our most recruitment in grades 3, 4, and 5.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so, I mean, ultimately, if we could get 15 in each grade level, that would be something to shoot for as a sustainable, sustainable in terms of like in the classroom, taking up space and desk, as well as being able to give the attention and the attention to the individualized needs and addressing those needs in an efficient and effective way. Okay, so, but we don't have 15 first graders.
Right.
We do have some first graders, we have some second graders, but getting people, again, to leave something comfortable, to come to something unfamiliar. We get most of our hallelujahs from the 4th grade parents. Like when I accept a 4th grader, they're practically crying, dancing,
Yeah.
hugging. I don't know you, but I'll hug you back.
But Angelique, when we, maybe another way of looking at this, since a lot of what we do and a lot of our future existence relies on us showing that we're achieving improvement, right? So maybe the focus could be, maybe, I'm just saying, on the grades. Are there any grades in particular that if we accept them at this stage, we see the most improvement, so that, you know, if you get a group of a high influx of 7th to 8th grade, 7th, 8th graders, it's not going to show much improvement, you know that. But if you get it at a lower stage,
True.
it's going to show more improvements, which is going to mean more to the school as far as the
Absolutely.
state and
Absolutely.
our future existence is concerned.
Absolutely.
Some thought in those
Yes, sir.
directions. Maybe,
Well,
maybe
and we
you
do.
could tell us which grade gives us the best improvements.
Well, clearly, if we can get them in the 1st grade, we can affect the most change. Unfortunately, they don't come already identified, so it's taking that risk that what if what if their true disability does not align with our mission, and then how is there an off-ramp for that student after they have been accepted, but they're not actually a reading or math disability, right? Because that also gets the attention outside when they come in, and this kid who might get identified but not as a reading disability. So it's again about getting that off-ramp once they are in here, because they don't come like they don't come with identifications. Yes, sir.
Steve?
And I'll have to rely on you, Jason, some for this. I've kind of been out of the assessment game for a few years, but I think it's true to accurately, and this is, it goes to what you were saying, to accurately identify an emerging first grader as having characteristics of dyslexia, or putting them through an assessment protocol and accurately making that identification is still a pretty significant challenge, and I would think, and also, so you have emerging first graders, and the same with emerging second graders who may have only had 1 year of instruction at the first grade. You may have varying histories of training prior to them going to the first grade, like starting at age 3 through, or kindergarten programs or pre-K programs. So, I mean, that's something that I think, you know, we might need to think about, the challenge of off-ramping someone in the 3rd or 4th grade, saying, you know, you've had your child here, but they really don't meet the criteria to be here, so we may be losing some there. You know, we don't need to decide this today, as you said, but do we need to be targeted? We talked about this, you want to get a kid as early as you possibly can, because early intervention is critical. But can we accurately fit them into the kids that we have here, and is that something that we might want to think about when we admit kids?
Now, you know, we have always tried to focus on first grade, but if you want people here in the first grade, it's a pre-K focus that we haven't really considered. If you want first graders, you can't go to first graders, they're going to second. Have we ever thought about focusing on or taking a survey of pre-K around here and looking for pre-K teachers to help us get into the first grade? If you want first grade, you don't go to first graders. You have to go to pre-K. At the end of pre-K to get them enroll in the first grade.
In kindergarten.
At the end of
Okay,
kindergarten, not
okay.
pre-K.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Look, this is, Cleve, go ahead.
Well, I was talking to a physician, medical doctor, early last week, and he was describing the problem that his daughter was having. And when he described the situation, I said, well, have you ever had her tested for dyslexia? And he said, well, no, she's not dyslexic because she does well in English. She just struggles in math. My point is this: I think we have well-educated people thinking that dyslexia is just one thing, and it's a spectrum of things. And so, another strategy we may try is to try to get some kind of information out to the public about dyslexia is not one thing. It could be A, it could be B, it could be C, or it could be a combination of all these things. But I think that the general public just still, in this day and age, still do not really know what dyslexia is. And if we can educate the public a little bit more, I think that would help in the long run.
Well, and then I think on top of that, it's with the kindergartners and first graders, it's sort of playing out, and Ms. Rodrigo alluded to that time that it's playing out. So by the time it does, and someone really identifies like, hey, we've been concerned and now it is a problem, that's when they're getting to that, kind of that grade band where
when you transition from learning to read to reading to learn.
And so that's kind of where the grade bands are, where there's not a lot of, space, because, so for a lot of the kids, that's when it's fully being recognized, and before it's, parents are told, well, they'll get it next year, or he's okay, or, he's a boy, or, you have these old things that we say, you know, just in the field of education, and then by the time someone realizes that that's not the reality of it, and then, you know, they're in second, third, or possibly beyond.
The
So it is,
kindergartners
it's a
haven't been
challenge.
Tested, right? It would be rare to see a kindergartner who's been tested.
Well, they,
But we could accept them, right? You would.
It would
I'm
be
just trying to
like Ms.
focus.
Roderick said, that like at that age, that, you know, the academic concerns could be for various reasons. One of which could be a learning disability, but there could be, you know, other things. And then on top of that, when you are assessing a young child, that particular student hasn't had the opportunity and the for instruction or the opportunity to have intervention, and so, you know, those so things, you know, may look one way when it's really the other.
It's pretty
So
consistent,
it's-
I think, in literature, that the younger you move down age-wise, the predictive validity of our
It's-
assessments
yeah.
really goes to crap.
Yeah, it does.
If we just take what
Yeah.
you folks have just said, and to me it looks like maybe for a while let's don't focus so much directly on the parent and the child, and let's focus on teachers. Maybe somehow or another getting the first grade and kindergarten teachers of quite a few schools around here and having a nice party and explaining that what do you look for in a child? It isn't just what you said of reading. It's math, it's this, it's that, or the other. What are good indicators? And this is the people, think about it, this is the people that's gonna talk to the parent and said, maybe that's what you should
They
do.
would know.
So look, let's just think about this
but
thing
they
at
would
the
be
next
within their
meeting.
own
Put
system.
that on one of the
That's a
agenda, put
that's a
that on the
focus.
agenda,
Yeah.
Angelique,
That's a focus.
for the next meeting. Maybe we gotta focus on something different, not so much the student
Yeah.
as the teacher who's handling the student at this time.
And they don't know we exist.
I mean,
If we
so
could
maybe some
let-
education
Get
about,
to them.
you know,
the
what
teachers.
Max does and who are the, you know, who's the target population may be helpful.
That's a good
Exactly,
focus.
so anyhow,
Okay.
think about this, there's a lot of things here to think about and discuss for another meeting, and all, to get, and look, what you're gonna be doing this year is for the coming year, or for the coming few years, and always remember, you know, we've been preaching the sermon of this school, and you think, well, you preach the sermon soon, long enough, and people ought to know it. Just think of Coca-Cola. You have heard the name Coca-Cola since you can remember. Yet you hear it and see it every day. They don't let you forget it. And maybe that's what we gotta do with the teachers. Just think about it. Anyhow, it doesn't have to be Coke, it can be Budweiser. All right.
I'm increasingly agnostic.
Yeah.
Is any more for Angelique? Okay, thank y'all. Anything for the PTA? No. Update on framework. Anything to be done there? Number 8.
Yes, so I
Go ahead.
am happy to say that the proposal for the modified alternative framework has been signed, sealed, and is in the process of being delivered. So it's directed specifically to Dr. Brumley, and so within the cover letter, it does ask for him to contact, actually Mr. Jake, to set up an in-person meeting for further discussion.
Awesome.
So, yes, and it was since certified, so we will have a little green card in the mail when it has been accepted at the department in Baton Rouge.
So we're going down that, following that road now.
And it's like the post office comes
All right.
Yeah.
Anything
Paid
else on
$11.60 for it, so hopefully that's.
Are
Yeah.
there any questions for Jason?
Good job.
Okay,
Thank you.
Jason, thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
New board business, do we have any new board business related to the school? If there's no new board business, the announcement are specified there. Any questions on any of those announcements? Okay, remember now, we have another meeting after this meeting, so if there's no questions for this,
I do plan to attend the LAPCS charter school meeting this year in December.
what is that?
LAPCS
Yes.
conference in December. I plan to go.
Okay,
Registered to go last year, but
It's one day this time, huh?
yeah, you don't get much attendance.
I'm looking at the agenda too, just to make sure it's not
Okay.
that cheap.
Well, yeah, I know you're trying to see it, but I have a little plan.
okay, is there anything more to discuss for this board meeting? Do I, motion to adjourn?
Move it, sir.
Second.
It's been moved by Larry and second by Jason, or Cleve or somebody.
It was me.
Larry.
Larry.
Everybody in favor of adjournment?
No motion.
Is everybody in favor of adjournment? Any opposition? Now, we are officially out of the meeting, right?